Sue is trying to run an auto transport logistics business, but she continues to have big issues with losing credits, 14-day ratings, increased pricing, and fraudulent activity. What is she supposed to do? How do you speak to power when they don't listen? Do you protest? Where does that get you? If they want to have a military parade, who cares about your gripe? Don't kill the messenger, just say hello, share your feedback, and hang on tight and learn from the best on ATI Auto Business. What's up, ecosystem? Welcome back to ATI Auto Business Industry Logistics. We're back on a Thursday. Some people learn more about the automotive industry when they're here. Do me a favor, please do. Help me wish a very warm welcome to my co-host, Sue.
Hey, Jay.
See me and hear me okay?
I can see you now.
Okay.
You were gone up until then.
All right, what's going on?
Not much. I was like, we're just going to get the little picture of you and that's it, or what?
I think that's a Neil Diamond album.
Do what?
You Were Gone Up Until Then? Sounds like a Neil Diamond album.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know where that came from. I'm a little bit giddy because we did not expect to have a show today.
Right.
Right? Neither did anybody else. Sorry. But we're having a show.
We
Boy,
are.
oh boy, are we having a show. I guess I'll just tee it up here. So, that's somebody with duct tape in a lone highway. We got a topic here. We're not. I guess we're not supposed to talk about this. I don't think anybody is.
Yeah, you're right.
And at this point, it's gotten kind of weird.
It has.
Why are we still doing this? Nobody wants to talk about it. I mean, yeah, pass. Anyways. And then this guy said he left because of the cost and the service. You know, we did that last show, blah, 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 you guys. But I thought, see, you know, it's weird. I get this weird idea. See, I thought that in business, people talked about information and things that were working and that weren't working.
True.
Like, that's what I thought.
True.
But I don't think that's how automotive works. People don't do that in automotive. You don't talk. You only talk about, like, actually, I was making a list of, like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this right now. My list of things that in automotive, this is what's news in automotive. Okay, not this kind of stuff. Okay. We got shoveling leadership. I need to make a wheel. Do you know what shoveling leadership is?
Shoveling off to the next person? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, it's a combination of when you work on a farm, you're shoveling shit, but you're shoveling leadership. Oh. I see that a lot of people do this. What a scam. Okay. Future of speculation. Like, you can speculate till the cows come home. If you like speculation, you will love sports shows. Awards for no reason. I don't know how many people get an award really for just their age or whatever.
Right.
Right. What's your favorite color, Sue?
Blue.
You get an award. Your favorite color is blue. Job promotions on paper. I saw this just today or yesterday. Like, when someone gets a job promotion and it's internal and they went from level 1 to level 2 and it's on LinkedIn and they get 100 likes. Job promotion on paper. Who cares? Single-digit percentage change. That is, what are you going to do with a single-digit? Hey, eggs went up 1%. Are you going to run to the store?
Yeah, no.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Eggs went down 1%.
And
Are
who
you going to
cares?
run to the store?
No.
No. Who cares? But in automotive, oh my God, auctions changed by 0.5%. Woohoo! And the reason this matters, and then there's rich executive feel-good stories, sponsorship obvious, and kowtowing to another group. Why? I'm telling you, I put a lot of thought into this. And you know why this is important? Because if we have all these nonsensical bullshit stories, then we don't need to talk about real information. That's automotive. That's how automotive works. It's crazy. So this stuff, your issues here, oh God, we have awards to do and feel-good stories and leadership and speculation. Why are you still whining about this stuff? Golly. Sue, why are you still whining about this stuff?
Because I want it fixed. I mean, I don't think I'm the only people out there wanting it fixed. In fact, I think he didn't, when we talk about this, we're also missing the other issues that are not on there as well, which was not saving the information for the loads. The autofill is gone. That wasn't, when we get into this today, that wasn't even brought up, and it should have been something I should have added to it. And I realized that when I just saw this. But I do this not just for me, I do this for everybody. I get told every single day, whether I'm as a broker or as I'm a transporter, how unhappy they are with certain things when it comes to central dispatch. And I always say someone needs to, make a phone call. I know everybody thinks it doesn't do any good, and it may not. Okay. It may. Does it hurt you to make that phone call? It may take 5 minutes out of your day. So be it. Do it. I mean, unless people say things and, come across like they want something done, and nothing happens. So I guess I'm the leader in this by saying these are the things I don't like. These are the things I need changed. But I've got people that agree with me on this, but nobody's going out there and saying anything except for me.
So does it feel like it's like a game of attrition? We're just trying to wear you out. Won't you eventually just get tired and just submit?
I think that's, I feel like I'm being brushed off on a regular basis.
It's like an ultimate fighting octagon. Just submit.
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah. Just
what
shut
is
up,
the matter
go away.
with you? how are you still doing this? Because, Sue, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I mean,
I know,
nobody cares. And you know how I know this, dude? There is a carrier guy on LinkedIn. He won't even align with us. And
Really?
he bitches all the time. Yes, nobody cares. We are the riffraff. Do not get to know your ecosystem. That is the new message. Screw that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, we're still the neutral zone because we do this crazy stuff like this. Nobody cares. Who cares? Welcome to Auto Transport. Who cares? We have Thursday shows. Who cares? This was our last show. Boring. Actually, there was so much interesting stuff. People are tuning in. See, that's what's so funny. People are tuning in. I mean, this is what? Dude. All right, here's your context. Okay. This show was live May 29th. That's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
161 views. Dude, nobody in automotive gets 160 views in 2 weeks. They don't.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Car Dealership Guy, but he's doing sponsorship Y content.
Gotcha.
And, that's really happy, good. But here's what I want to, how many people actually watch for, because I've tuned in. His attendees are not that great, especially for as many subscribers as he has. It's in the 5 figures. And you get like double-digit attendees. And you tune in and you watch, and man, it gets boring. Because it's just not really information.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like it. It's like the food in the Matrix. It's supposed to taste like cream of wheat, but it just sucks. All right. And then, then I did this. I put that one on LinkedIn instead of the other thumbnail because LinkedIn's really sensitive.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hurt anybody. Gotta be really careful around there. And that's the new logo.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. Okay, we all know that in the world right now this is going on. And
Yep.
it's kind of appropriate. Because that's just the way life feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they come. That's going to be fun. Yeah, that's going to be a really good time. We got a military parade Saturday. Aren't you excited? Do you know what this is?
It's Trump's birthday.
Yeah, it's Trump's birthday, so he's having a Kim Jong-un military parade.
Okay.
Okay, whoa, Jay. That was really unfair. He's having a military parade. Okay, but wait a minute. Why do a military parade? I thought Doge was trying to cut costs. Why are we doing this? Do you want to go see the tanks roll down D.C.?
No, not really.
That is weird, bro. Putin, North Korea. Okay. I don't know. And then this. Did you hear that this has calmed down? These guys are making friends already. You know why? I think because Elon posted this.
Yeah.
That, I'm not even going to say it because I don't want to end up not alive in a jail cell.
Yeah.
He did not kill himself, man.
He lost a lot of money.
He didn't kill himself. That's so stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, final good time story before we lead into the really great news. Have you seen that?
Huh.
Okay. Is there something there or is there not something there? This is all over Twitter. Twitter's going crazy. Two big things happened this week. One, protests in LA and around the country. And two, this is a controversy now. Does he have this? I'm telling you, Twitter was full of this. I don't know. I don't care. That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. Does it matter? Or is he just neat, as one guy said? Maybe he's just wearing those.
Yeah.
But that's funny. That picture exists. Wait, is that AI? Maybe it's AI. That's a guy. I don't know.
Probably.
That looks real. Who knows?
Who knows? Why would he do it? Yeah.
Boxers are brief? It depends. That's funny. And finally, maybe it's just Guato. All right. Let's get back to work. Okay? No milling around at the truck stop. Did you hear that police found 185 pounds of marijuana hidden in the bed of a stolen pickup truck on a transport semi?
No shit. Where at?
185 pounds. That's a lot of pounds.
That's a lot.
Have you ever seen that much pot?
No, never.
No. Have you ever seen a pound of pot?
Probably.
Maybe, yeah, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, even an ounce can be a pretty good size.
Yeah.
And how many ounces in a pound?
5 pounds.
185 pounds. Holy crap.
14? I don't know.
That is,
How many ounces
right?
are in a
12,
pound?
14?
16. 16. 16
16
ounces in a pound.
Oh my God.
Yeah, duh.
Oh my God, that's a lot of pot.
Yeah. 185 pounds is a person. Think of it that way.
Oh my God. So in Mississippi, commercial transportation enforcement officers, they stopped semi-truck on I-22 in Lee County. They probably didn't expect to find this. Perhaps the vehicle was overweight or had basic mechanical issues, but then again took a surprising turn. I hate that kind of rhetoric, boring. First off, semi-truck trailer set up for auto transport was moving only one vehicle. Which you know what, as we go into this, can you make more money hauling 185 pounds of pot or cars?
185 pounds of pot, for sure.
It's pretty obvious. Strapped onto the back was a single half-ton truck pickup. The truck driver claimed he was hauling it from his home base in Oklahoma City to Florida. But you know what? Here's what's funny. That might seem like a waste of fuel. No, to many brokers, this is a good deal.
Yeah. Especially all the way to Florida.
Yeah. The police officers dug a bit further. When they ran the numbers for the
truck was
pickup,
stolen.
it came reported as stolen. That's when they grew suspicious. So next time, don't use a stolen pickup to haul your pot.
That was the first mistake.
Dang
Hello.
it.
Sorry.
Right now, Fitty in Florida's like, Fitty did what? Fitty did what? Okay. Tailgate had its tailgate up, and the bed was covered. Police officers began to search it. They dropped the tailgate, exposed a row of huge black trash bags. Inside the bags, lots of pot.
Wow.
So then they put his name up there, of course. Everybody smoked out. Jump, jump, jump. It was dope. Literally. And then we go to this. Pedestrian dies after stepping into the path of an 18... This is weird. But it's also part of, like, you know, when you book that $100 load, this can happen.
Well, yeah. Where's Angelina County?
The guy was identified, and he left the road. He had a yellow Honda Fit, and he, in a construction zone, I don't know, pulled over in the median and then walks across the road and gets hit. None of it makes any sense. I don't know.
Where his car was.
And it just sucks that it's a car hauler, right?
Wow.
And when you look at this, I'm assuming that's the rig. Man, that looks like a company car hauler.
Yeah, that does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we're assuming they're showing the actual one. Who knows?
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They may
But
just
that is a construction zone, so.
Wow.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
Meanwhile, I shared this. I just love these kinds of headlines. Logistics industry urged to stay agile as trade war continues. Yeah, we know you went through COVID, you're on the ropes, nobody pays, nobody helps, but stay agile. What? No wonder he's hauling 185 pounds
of marijuana.
Jeez. Just stay agile. That's stupid. Teamsters launch awareness campaign over auto haulers.
GM in Fort Wayne, huh?
Because Jack Cooper got let go. Teamsters auto haulers are... That's an uphill battle. And then this came in just this morning. I've gone far. I acquired my truck and trailer, signed up with Central, registration's done, payments are coming up, but I'm not getting loads. I need help to survive in this market. And he's coming to me. Camera one. The guy's coming to me. He can't go to you. What are you going to do?
So it says somehow I'm not getting the loads from Central Dispatch.
So I actually emailed him back. Are you actively searching, calling, and booking, or are you waiting for loads to come in? He said, no, I'm calling on loads. I talked to the guy, said.
Yeah.
Hopefully he shows up here today. No, he's, but you know the problem is? He reminded me of the problem.
He's too new, or?
He's too new. That's it. Wow.
That's the problem.
People won't work with him.
Yeah. Especially if he's a big car hauler, that hurts.
He's a 9 car.
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy, I mean,
most of the big car haulers,
you
have to be in business for a certain length of time. Especially like Supreme requires 2 years, I think. I mean, there's some, I came across, do you remember Beacon? Remember them?
Beacon Shipping Logistics?
They are not taking any new drivers.
I said to him, well, I mean, there's going to be a lot of pushback from insurance companies. I try to be fair on this issue. But this issue sucks.
Yes.
And this is another issue where we have too many awards to give out, speculation, feel-good stories. We're not talking about this problem. Heck no. And it is killing the industry.
Yeah, it didn't used to be this bad. It's gotten this bad over the last 2 years, right? That they've made all these new rules for signing up and everything else.
And I get it, because when you get some weird calls.
Oh yeah, I get it too.
But those are the only companies that can survive.
Right.
This guy, this sucks, man.
This sucks.
This sucks.
That's at least minimum year-long process.
Nobody cares. Nobody. Man, there ain't nobody caring on this. Not the load boards, not the brokers, not the insurance companies.
Well,
Nobody cares.
I'm curious, do you think he's just trying to get packs? Or is he trying the
Well,
individual
he has
loads?
experience.
No, but I mean like packs for loads, pack
Oh,
loads.
well, this is the other thing. I think he could probably use a little bit of dispatch help,
Yeah,
but he can't afford a dispatcher.
right. Well, especially if he's sitting there empty. Yeah, I totally get it.
He can't afford a dispatcher.
Because I mean, there's so
No.
much paperwork involved in getting signed up with anybody, whether you're brand
and
new or been
and
in
you got to
business,
get your
period.
insurance, and you sit there forever. And
Yep.
there's insurance companies. They know this. They hear us talk. They
Yep.
don't. They don't connect.
Yep.
There is no help on the horizon. This industry's done. All right. So now that I've laid 20 minutes of groundwork. Power and profit. I figured it out. I think I cracked the code. You want to see? You want to see something?
Yep. Let's see it.
Power and profit. What is the phrase of the day? It is power and profit.
Profit.
Ready?
Okay.
I even put it in our power and profit
And received your COI.
versus. Here's another gripe. This is you griping in the. Hey, I have another gripe.
Yeah.
Versus power and profit. You want to see it in action?
Release.
Power and profit versus another gripe.
Yep. Forgot about that one too.
Power and profit. Another gripe. Power and profit. Another gripe. Okay. So, let's go into it. This is why we're here today, not for all that other stuff. What a waste of time. We just gave out a bunch of awards. Okay. Can't repose without losing credits.
Right.
Price increase. Okay,
Right.
we're going to focus on 4. Losing credits, price increase, ratings, and what we're kind of we're lumping into fraud. Some
Yeah.
call it hacking. Some call it vetting. But it's
Yeah,
the
'cause it
same
depends on
bucket.
which side of it you're on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same bucket. Because here's hacked. The word hacked was right there. So, you got a response.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, have you had other responses in the past, Sue?
Well, yes, via text, but I had turned it into emails because it was easier for me.
But how many years have you been kind of going back and forth with information and replies? Do you know how many years it is?
Well, I mean, I
It's
started
at least
back
5.
in what, 2002? Something like that. 2002, 2003, something like that. Um,
I mean, they've had you in focus groups.
yes. I mean, they don't anymore, but yeah, they've had me in many,
I wonder why.
many focus
But I mean,
groups.
this is like 10 years in the making, isn't it?
Yeah, at least, yeah, probably.
And it's different.
I mean-
It's now different people replying to you than those from 10 years ago, right?
Yep,
So
absolutely.
how are we still here? How?
Because, like you said, they don't really care. I mean,
Is that weird?
I'm gonna keep
that we're
complaining.
10
I'm gonna
years?
keep bitching. But
Have you ever,
yeah,
like, let's say your package got lost and you're still arguing with FedEx 10 years later? I've
Yeah.
never heard that story. Or, you know,
True.
you find a hamster in your cereal and you call General Mills. They fix it, don't they? Are you still arguing over cereal 10 years later?
no.
Or you find a fork in your fried chicken. I'll keep going. Nobody has to fight for 10 years.
No.
But when you're here, you do.
Very
Another gripe ain't getting nowhere. I've just renamed this person Another Gripe. This was how Twitter was going crazy. I don't know why. I think it's great. All right. Well, so do you want to go ahead and read these first? We'll start with the replies and then we'll go with your responses to the replies, yada
Yeah.
yada. All right,
Um,
sure.
okay. Can I make it bigger because I'm blind? Hold on. All right, got it. All right. Losing credits in the scenarios you mentioned. I'm happy to share that you shouldn't be losing credits as long as you repost or reassign. A quick real-time demo can help me make sure you know which buttons to press to preserve your credits in these scenarios. Number two, ratings product feedback. We made the change to a 14-day window to prevent retaliatory ratings, which was a concern we heard from other clients. We included this update in our marketing communications. From your feedback, it sounds like we needed to make that stand out more, so I apologize for any confusion there. We'll take your feedback into account for future updates. As for your feedback about notifications on received ratings, I will pass this on to our product team. Number three, package ranges. It's our hope that the value received from Central Dispatch represents a justified subscription price. We aim to deliver a simple pricing plan with packages that meet the needs of our diverse client base. That being said, know that we hear you and I will share your feedback with the rest of the leadership team so we can take your feedback into account when we review the package structure. And number four, fighting fraud. We are dedicated to fostering a safe and trusted marketplace. At the same time, everyone has a role to play in combating fraud, and that includes what we're doing here at Central Dispatch. From role-based permissions and added authentication layers to real-time tracking, we are releasing security enhancements weekly and have removed over 800 subscribers on the platform just this year. Regarding the Bentley situation, please send over the details so we can have our fraud department investigate. We are taking every situation seriously. And then again, we deeply value you as a client as well as all of our brokers, and we'd appreciate the opportunity to connect in real time at your convenience.
Okay, all right. Whew, man, that was a lot. Um, what's your take? I've talked enough.
Well, I don't think they care. If you really want to know the truth, I just feel like I'm being brushed off like usual. That's how I feel. I mean, I responded
That's weird. This is
today.
written to you, right?
This is written to me. This is an email from my contact at
Is it
Central.
an email sent to you, or is this like a
Yep.
billboard, but you got a
No,
copy?
this
I don't
this is an
understand the
actual
way.
email.
I don't
This
understand
is
the
an actual email
language.
to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Does it sound like an
Yep.
email to a person?
No, it just sounds like something they wrote up
When you went
that they
into
might write up and give
part
to everybody.
3,
AI.
I'll share your feedback so we can take your
Yeah.
feedback. Golly.
Well, and it's just like regarding the Bentley
Even in part 2, wait a
situation,
minute. The word
fraud
feedback
department
is in
investigate, we
answer.
had that told too.
The word feedback is in answer 2 3 times, and the word
Yeah.
feedback is in answer 3 twice. Is this written by AI?
Oh, maybe.
Even
Maybe.
AI would be like, gosh, that's a lot of the use of feedback. Listen, I know, camera one, I get it, man. There's somebody at the organization that's like, man, I hate this guy, this and that. Really? Like, because human beings, carriers, boots on the ground, I gotta believe that this is what they're thinking. Like, this is why nobody bothers. I mean, the
This
protesters
is one
don't
of the
show up in
brothers.
auto transport anymore. They're worn out, man. There's just this another gripe guy, and he just has a leaf blower. Like, so, I mean, you guys have won, right? You guys won, right? The war's over. It's time for a military parade. Nobody cares. We got 9 viewers on YouTube, and we got 2 viewers on LinkedIn, and there are thousands of people in logistics that do not care. It doesn't matter. So we understand that just, cut and paste a response and you're good. I get it. And we're doing a show anyways. How annoying. Response number 1. You wrote this to that, right?
Yes,
All
this is
right.
to the first one.
All right, take it away.
Okay. I'm reaching out to express serious concerns regarding how listing credits are currently handled, particularly in cases where brokers are penalized due to circumstances beyond our control. As someone actively working in this space every day, I can confirm that listings often cancel through no fault of the broker. For example, I recently listed a six-pack of trucks, secured a driver, and was then informed the client decided to handle it themselves. That cancellation alone resulted in the loss of $300 in broker fees based on my minimum of $50 per vehicle. This is not a rare occurrence. Many of us are seeing patterns like this repeatedly. In another case I mentioned in a previous email, I had a two-pack booked and ready. The driver arrived, but a key was missing for one vehicle. By the time the issue was resolved, I was forced to relist the second vehicle, once again losing one of my allotted listings. These types of changes, whether due to missing keys, change of drop-off location, like Fort Lauderdale to Tampa, etc., or clients using our listings simply to shop around for better pricing, are common and difficult to predict. While I understand the intent behind stopping brokers from canceling loads after delivery in order to avoid fees, and I agree the kind of misuse needed to be addressed, the current implementation is penalizing the brokers who are playing by the rules. We are essentially being charged for circumstances we cannot control. If we are paying for a set number of listings each month, we should be able to use them fully, regardless of whether the same vehicle needs to be relisted due to a client's change or an issue at pickup. At the moment, any adjustments result in the platform treating it as a brand new listing, deducting from our monthly quota. This is unfair, unsustainable, and ultimately harmful to the brokers who are helping drive the platform's success.
It's interesting because, see, your response sounds like you're talking to people
Yeah.
about specifics
Yeah.
versus these responses sound very generic, and it really could be about anything.
True.
Maybe that's how it works, is if we stay generic and just talk in generalities about power and profit, we're good. But you know what I think the real problem is? See, power and profit, I think, is really talking to dealers and shippers.
Yeah.
I don't think they know how to talk to carriers and brokers. Well, brokers, yeah, because brokers are shippers.
True.
But not carriers.
No.
They don't know how to talk to carriers.
No.
In fact, there's probably somebody in the boardroom like, what? Wait a minute, didn't a carrier just drive around and pick up and drop off cars? Isn't that, what else is there? Why are they bitching? Right? What are they so excited about? Just pay the monthly subscription and pick up and drop off your gold bars. Golly, what's your problem? You want to do this one?
Sure.
All right.
So this is in response to the ratings feedback. I want to be clear, I'm fairly certain the majority of users are not seeing your marketing communications, and I'm equally confident that many would not be okay with the changes made, especially without being directly informed. We've missed out on numerous opportunities to collect brokerage fees due to this, resulting in several $1,000s in lost income on my end alone. I doubt I'm the only one experiencing this. Regarding the feedback about notifications on received ratings, it honestly feels like I'm being brushed off. This was a standard and reliable feature in the past, something we all depended on. Now, despite paying more for the service than we did back then, you've removed a feature that helped us actively monitor our own ratings and confirm that the ratings we submitted were actually received. I've even had situations in the past where my submitted ratings never went through. With all due respect, these are not minor issues. They impact our workflow, our accountability, and ultimately our bottom line.
So you've said, it seems like I read the reply.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you guys are seeing ratings in different ways.
Yes.
Are they saying that, oh no, the ratings are, we made the change to prevent retaliatory ratings, which I understand. That's a really good, that's like a good defense argument. But is it?
But they still do retaliatory ratings. I don't know
exactly.
how does that affect anything.
They only need 1 day to retaliate.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not real.
No.
You're right?
No.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense because they can still do retaliatory. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Unless you're waiting till that 14-day. But you could do that on 45 days too. I'm more concerned about the fact that you've got people out there who pay 30 days and you can't give them a rating. Like we've got one.
You can't. No, you
days.
literally can't. That's such a great example.
Still haven't been paid. Yeah.
So you don't get paid for 30 days. We all know we can all agree 30-day pay exists, right?
Oh, absolutely.
30-day pay is a thing.
Yes.
Okay. And if you don't get paid for 30 days, how are you going to leave feedback within 14?
And you can't, and
You
that
can't.
leads to somebody else going with this broker and never getting paid. And it's not just like if you did it as a 30 days. So put it this way, say you use a factoring company who, God, we know how they are, right? They never get paid for 30 or 45 days. But then they tell you after 30 days, hey, I didn't get paid. What's going on? By then, you still can't leave a rating either. Even if it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's the ridiculous of all of this. It doesn't make any sense. That's why everybody says ratings mean nothing. It's just stupid.
And I'm good. I love stupid. Stupid is my favorite. Why even do this?
I,
Right?
you got me.
Because was there a lack of power and profit in having people? Isn't this like there is this weird, I know, Jay, you're getting nuts, but there's this weird correlation between repression of ability to speak and increase in power and profit. If we take away your ability to speak, we can raise our power and profit. Isn't that how the system works? Pretty sure. That's why they give awards, because your favorite color is blue.
Notice the backdrop.
All right. Let's do number 3.
Okay, number 3. As a long-standing user of Central Dispatch, I want to express my growing concern regarding the new subscription pricing and package ranges. Frankly, the value we're receiving does not justify the increased costs. Not only have we lost access to previously included features, but the new tier structure also lacks consideration for smaller brokerages. As a small operation managing between 100 to 150 listings a month, the jump from $199 for 50 listings to $399 for 300 listings leaves no realistic or affordable middle ground. This structure unfairly burdens brokers like myself who fall between those two extremes. I understand you've stated that feedback is being heard, but it now has been over 3 months since the change and nothing has improved. I've spoken to several fellow brokers, many of whom aren't comfortable voicing their frustrations publicly, and the sentiment is largely the same. This new pricing model does not serve the majority of small to mid-sized brokerages who make up a significant portion of your user base. In addition to brokering, I also dispatch for several companies. During these dispatches, I consistently hear dissatisfaction from other brokers who feel the platform is no longer as supportive or valuable as it once was despite the rising costs. We urge you to revisit this structure and consider adding a reasonably priced mid-tier option that better accommodates smaller businesses. Your platform is critical to our operations, but continued disregard for your core users could drive many to seek alternative solutions.
All right. Well, the price ain't going down, but
No.
I think you have a good point. And let's see if we can find it. It's kind of fun to go back through this craziness. It's good times. Okay. See, it's the tiered listing price
Right.
that I think has the highest potential for fix.
Yeah, this is an
Because-
easy fix as far as I'm concerned.
It is an easy fix. It's not gonna get fixed, allegedly.
Well, yeah.
What do you propose? What would you like to see?
I think they need one that's 150 in between the 50 and 300. I don't think that's unreasonable.
It's gonna cut into power and profit, though.
Yeah, probably, but to me it makes no sense because here's the thing. I'm never going to use 300 vehicles in that month. So I'm paying for it, but then once again,
See?
I'm not getting the full access to it.
But that's the genius of this program. I mean,
Like your own minutes.
people that develop pricing models, they have some money. They go on vacation. They like nice wine and gun collections. We're gonna lose some of our gun collection and wine if we give you some kind of fair middle ground.
Yeah.
Sue, can't you understand? We gotta go to Italy again. I mean, What, you don't like cheese? It's so true. You could park a bus in between 50 vehicles a month and 300 vehicles a month.
Yep. Yep.
What I think but see, that's going to ruin our perception too, because let's go to the perception. Yeah, I have a degree in marketing, and there's a whole class on product and pricing. It's a philosophy. Okay. The Beatles could have written an album called Product and Pricing. You start at 10 vehicles a month for $139.95.
Right.
Gouge your eyes out.
Right. And I think that used to be 30, right?
Like that's hardcore,
Yeah.
man.
Because our basic was 30.
So
and then
instead of
to
bleeding everywhere, go to 50. You need 50 anyways. And it's only $60 more.
Right.
But you know what? We're going to post 75. Well, I guess you're stuck with 389. What?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
You know, the shells on the table. It's all we got. It's genius. All right. Again, I just got another FU from the boardroom. Sucks, doesn't it? All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Fighting fraud. All right. Got it. All right, this is about the fraud. While I appreciate the recent efforts you've made to enhance platform security, there is still a critical gap that continues to affect many of us, specifically the issue of fraudulent brokers. These individuals may have all the paperwork in place to appear legitimate, but they are deliberately operating with intent to defraud. Several months ago, I reported a situation where one of my drivers fell victim to a scam broker. I provided the company name and all relevant details, but despite that, no immediate action was taken. In fact, 2 weeks later, the same broker was still active on the platform. By then, multiple reports had surfaced accusing them of non-payment and scam activity. While I believe they may finally have been removed, the delay in action cost other transporters thousands of dollars. Fortunately, in our case, we were able to recover payment. When my driver arrived at the dealership, they informed us that they had never contracted the load with that broker, but they agreed to pay the reduced rate listed since we were already on site. This particular dealership was one we had worked with before, which raised red flags from the beginning. I even called to verify information, but the payment details didn't come to light until delivery. Despite reporting this situation in full, there was no response, no follow-up, and no visible action taken at that time. Since then, I've come across several other suspicious listings that show clear signs of the same behavior. Unfortunately, it's always the transporters who take the loss, not the broker. And while I am a broker myself, I also dispatch for multiple companies and understand firsthand how devastating this can be for a driver. Additionally, there's the matter of account breaches that go unresolved. A recent incident involved someone hacking another transporter's central dispatch account and attempting to steal a Bentley. We were able to stop the transaction, but the account owner has yet to receive a response from central dispatch. I am happy to provide their contact information if needed, but the lack of resolution is troubling. At the end of the day, we, the small, legitimate companies, are doing our best to stay afloat in an increasingly unstable environment. We need Central Dispatch to be more proactive, not just in fighting hacking attempts, but also in swiftly removing brokers who are clearly abusing the system. It's time to prioritize transporter protection. We are not just the users of your platform, we are the backbone of it.
So, great responses. You know, it made me ask a question while
Sure.
you're reading that. Is Ashley Madison still in business?
I don't know who's Ashley
Madison.
Madison.
Oh, well, that's probably good. Ashley Madison is where you can go to hook up with people that are married or whatever.
Oh.
I don't know, wife swap.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Follow the thread. So
Gotcha.
They had a major data breach in 2015. And I thought, well, did that put them out of business? Nope. They're still in business. Now, that's really good news. Because just as Ashley Madison can tell you, no implied connection, is that you can suffer major fraud and stay in business. It's all good.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And you know what's really cool about the fraud topic is that we can make webinars until the cows come home. Even after the cows come home. webinars about fraud and what we're doing and how great it is, and that'll totally detract from all those other problems you mentioned. It's genius. And all that. So, we don't have a conclusory statement because there isn't one.
No.
Nobody cares. It's never going to end. Are you going to do this back and forth stuff for another 10 years?
No.
How much more time you got in you?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, my problem is that I don't do this just for myself. I do this for all of us, and I want it to be better for all of us. I want it to be easier for everybody, and it seems like it's just going nowhere. It's all about the money. I mean,
Power
that's how
and
I
profit.
feel like it's yeah, I think it's just a
It
money
is power
hungry
and
kind of situation, and I don't like it. It didn't used to be like this. Like I said, I started only a few years after they came into existence. I used to be able to talk to live people, and actually, I mean, I was taught how to file against a broker bond by somebody from CD. Didn't know anything
Wow.
about the industry,
Whoa,
didn't know
that'll
anything.
never happen now.
No, never.
Allegedly.
No. But I was taught how to
Wow.
do it. That's how I
Do you
learned
know
how to
what
do
year
it.
that was? You got a year on that?
God.
That's over 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was like in the very first stages of when I first started
Well,
this.
it's interesting you say that. This is wonderful because we go back through the history of the load board.
Yeah.
It started because a guy had trouble shipping his car and thought this is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like 1999.
Right.
So he starts hooking together fax machines and phone books and makes a list. And it's good, it's working. So
Yeah.
a company buys it.
Yeah.
Now that's like 2005.
Okay.
Well, in the name of power and profit, another company bought that company or whatever.
Right.
And now big company owns what was originally, just a good idea.
Right. Right.
Still things are okay, but and probably for like 5 years until about 2010. It's it seems like in 20 well, when was the first new look? Was it 2014? 2015?
Maybe.
It seems like that's when we started to turn a corner. And we went from we're trying to help you
When
move
did-
loads to we're really just making money.
When did McNutt get bought out?
About
Do you
that
remember?
time. I'm going to go with 2015.
That's about when that's about when things changed.
And that
That's
when
what I
and that
remember.
and I think Brian even says, brokers, I think Brian would say something like, it's been the last 10 years that brokers have changed the way transportation operates. And now they're mega brokers. You got TQL's got a building with an Olympic-sized pool. That's a joke. It's not true. But anyways, it's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's all about
Right.
brokers. And, what's really weird? So NIADA is this independent dealer association. And there's like 10,000 independent dealers. They feel like carriers.
Really.
They feel like they're being ignored on some things. But when it comes to power and profit, they get love.
Yeah.
Nobody gets not love like a carrier or a dispatcher.
Right.
And
I
that's
agree.
what's weird is, how do these loads get moved? On trucks, right?
Right. But
Why
we're
doesn't anybody
always-
care about
I don't
who
know.
actually moves the load?
It's
That is
just-
so weird.
It's a prime example when a transporter goes into a dealership and they're treated like crap
Like
because they're
crap.
the lowest of the low is how they're treated. Yeah.
Just get that thing off of there. And don't scratch it,
Yeah.
maggot.
Yeah.
It's like Chet from Weird Science. No, go make yourself one, dickweed. That's
Yep.
crazy. All right, enough of you guys. Yeah, blah blah. We're so tired of it. Okay, hey, this was sent in. Okay, just look at it. There's nothing special here, right? I don't see any problems. Okay.
No.
All right. You wouldn't know. And then this text comes into... I'm not sure who the text went to. Hey, I said, the customer. Okay. This text apparently went to the customer.
So how do we have the customer?
I'm not sure.
That's interesting.
It is. And then the scam is that whoever texted the customer photoshopped that listing.
Really?
It's 575. They photoshopped it. That's a genius scam,
Wow.
right? You could do that all day.
I'm still curious as how they would know who the customer was,
I know.
unless
But
they were hacking the account.
this gets into, and this gets into carrier vetting and fraud. How
Yeah,
many accounts are fake carriers, but
right,
really scammers?
right. Because it goes on both
How
sides.
hard would that be to set up?
It no harder than the brokers, the
And how
fake
long would it
brokers, the
take to
fake
get found out?
transporters.
And who cares if you get found out after you've stolen a few truckloads of cars, right?
Yeah,
Who
it doesn't
cares?
matter then.
Set up another one.
No. So, yeah,
Now, I'm not saying that's how it works, but whoever sent me this is saying that's how it works.
yeah.
Yeah, not my words. And I want to say, yeah, I've said a lot of things, but I don't think I've said anything you can hang me on a hook on. And I'm not going to. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to help. I know nobody wants that. Okay, you know what I said to Theo? Theo is in the live chat. Do you want to share your screen and you want to do a search in North Carolina? What we're doing is we haven't done this in a while. Wow. They're going to search for loads on ATI? Yeah, I think so.
Let me bring it up. Hold on.
So we're searching North Carolina to, let's do 100 miles around Greensboro,
Okay.
to North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, with a minimum that you think makes sense.
Okay, so I'm doing Greensboro, North Carolina to where now? South
100 miles
Carolina?
around Greensboro to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and throw in Alabama, would you?
North Carolina, yep, hang on. Georgia, Alabama.
And then share your screen when you're ready.
Okay.
And then we'll just do this for another, I don't know, we'll be here another 10 minutes or whatever, and then we'll wrap it up. But I told Theo that we would take a look and see what we can see.
Okay. All right, got it. Let me.
And if you missed the live show, nobody cares. But you can also watch it on demand on YouTube and LinkedIn until it gets removed.
Okay. Am I sharing the right screen? I want to make sure I got the right screen up.
I'm seeing a teddy bear with a, no, yeah, I got
Okay.
it. Okay.
Don't say that, Jay. I do have teddy bears on here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay. All right. So I put in eight active filters is what you're going to see at the top. It says there's 240 loads on here. Um, let's see. And I put in here for 3 days so we didn't get all kinds of crazy junk on here. Now these are
Ooh, I just want to jump in and say, I'm
Sure.
going to say something nice because that's the best way to. I like how the name of the company is now on a grade line at the bottom. I've never seen that. I like that. That's good.
so
It's really
this
good.
is the gentleman that said he can't get loaded. Is that who we're talking to kind of?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
who we're talking
All right.
to.
So
So,
let's go through this but a
yeah.
little bit at one at a time, kind of so I can explain to him like cars arrive. You have to be established for, I don't know, is it 90 days? It may have changed. It may be 6 months now. I don't know. Wholesale transportation, same kind of deal. You have to be established. Okay, so those first three you can't do. Peace Global, not sure. Care
And we
Express.
talked. He asked me about in-ops too, and we talked about. I bet you that's probably a salvage auction.
Yes,
Right?
and if you
You're
click
going-
on these a lot of times, which I wish they would do on all of them, I like always put in my information. I'll say this is IA or this is Copart. I wish all of them would do that so you would know whether to bother them or not. Because if you don't have a winch, what's the point, right? All right. So I believe
Yeah,
Clayton is a Copart or an IA, but don't quote me on that. I can't
yeah,
remember.
I
I
think
don't
it
do
is.
that area that much anymore. Um, there's another one. And a lot of times, if you're not familiar with the board either, there'll be notes in here that you have to call a certain person or text a certain person or go to a different load board and things like that. Um, that's a good one
Right,
on
but
there.
ultimately, uh, any load you see, the company listed is who you're going to call and
Yes.
say, "Hey, I
Yes.
can pick it up tomorrow."
Yes. So you're going to do your drop down box. This is going to give you your phone numbers to call. Like I said, sometimes here it'll give you a different person to call. These are your pickup dates. their delivery, desired delivery date. I don't know if that really makes any difference sometimes, just so everybody knows.
That stuff doesn't
Um,
really matter.
yeah.
Nah.
Um, let's see. There's another car arrive. I mean,
It's
there's
kind of
looks
like
like there's a lot of
I'd
local
like to
stuff.
have dinner tonight, but it could
Yeah.
be tomorrow.
And now I will tell him that because he's a nine car, some of this stuff is going to be difficult at best because like if you're doing co-parts and stuff like that, some places will not load a 9, 10 car hauler. They don't top
Yeah,
load
that's
anything. So
right.
keep
Oh
that in mind.
God. Meaning,
So
so the forklift driver at a Copart or IAA may not be allowed to
right,
fork onto your trailer because of
right,
insurance and damage and
right. Or
liability.
they'll
Right.
just put it on the very back spot, but that doesn't help you if unless that's your
That's right.
first drop and your last
That's right.
pickup, right?
So don't think a forklift driver can help you because he
Right.
can't. And I will say this though, as a new carrier, it's these like other named brokers, United Freeway, Triad, that I'm looking at as more likely to get a load.
Yes, absolutely. The smaller brokers are going to be the ones that are going to work with somebody that's new. The bigger ones, no, you're going to have
And
some time underneath your belt. Some of them require you to have so many ratings, which is also ridiculous because, as we all know, the new rating system sucks. Not everybody gives them out anymore.
no.
They don't even think about it.
What?
So, yeah. So keep
So,
that in mind.
and the if you want to know the big brokers, look in the video description below these shows, and I list. Those are all big brokers.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, I'll give you an example. They'll do a load for us, and I get a call from their dispatcher asking us to give them feedback, okay, a rating. And I'll say, we've already done that. But they don't know that because guess why? They didn't get an email saying they got a rating from us any longer. The ding. Anyways, moving on. So, but yeah, like now I don't know about the finest carrier. I don't know if they would come up on price. They're a little bit bigger carrier. I like them. I work with them quite a bit.
Right. Pro tip:
Um,
always ask for more money.
yeah, I mean, it can't hurt to ask.
$50.
Right. They may not do
$50.
it, but you never know.
Always.
Um,
Because they're hoping they've lowered it $50. So when you raise it to $50, that was the number they were thinking, anyways.
do recommend checking ratings. If you see something funky, check it out. Trying to look and see because I know this company and I have a problem with them. They didn't pay a driver. Anyways, always check out their ratings, especially if you're new to this business. You're gonna find out if people get paid or not. They'll write it on there or not. Okay. Um, TRT is a small enough company they would work with you, but they're usually going to the port. Just a heads up. This is a big company. I don't know about them. They are legit. Just so everybody knows, I know it doesn't show feedback on the new system, but this is a
Which one?
legit company. I've got a
Truck
driver
and
that
Drive?
calls for them on a
No.
regular basis.
Trans 58?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're a newer company, but like I said, I've got a driver that hauls for them on a regular basis. Um, most of these are cars to drive. A lot of these. Carpool, Janice, is there a rule for carpool? 90 days?
No, 30.
30 days on carpool. Um,
Yeah,
Montway is longer now.
yes.
Montway's longer
Assertus.
what?
To get signed up with
Yeah.
them.
Is
You
that
can't
right?
just immediately get signed up with them any longer. Assertus, I think you still can, except they use
Yeah.
not who do they use to do all of their vetting? Dang it. You know who
Oh,
it
is it
is, Jay.
Highway?
What was it?
Highway?
It might be Highway. It's one of those that so you have to go through all of that process too. Used to be you could get signed up with Assertus in the same day. I would say now it probably takes closer to a week.
Because I don't think
Um,
it's Carrier Portal. I
Yeah,
think it's Highway.
it's something different. Neptune is a smaller company. Let's see. United Road, you can get signed up as far as I know. I don't know if you
They do
want
that
to.
internally at United Road, right?
Yeah. They use something too. I don't know if it's Highway or if it's the other one.
Yeah, that's going to be
Um,
more common moving forward. Because there's so much
yeah.
fraud. Oh, you know.
Yes. And not that it stops anything, just so everybody knows, because it usually doesn't.
Sorry.
It does. I will tell you, it helps to be set up on all boards that you're able to be set up with, including SD, because a lot of the loads are on SD. Um, And if you're a verified carrier on there, a lot of times you can get loads over somebody else that's not a verified carrier. Just a heads up. Um, all of these companies are smaller companies. They would give you these loads. I don't know who this is, but here's a tip for you though. Sometimes you're delivering right to that person, which is not what this looks like, because this is a 919 number is a North Carolina number. So if you click on their company, you can find out.
Oh.
See.
Boy.
Yeah, he's out of Raleigh. So that load is literally a load that you're bringing to him. So more than likely he would work with you.
Good
Kinda thing.
point. And if you can start to, and the problem is there's not enough time in the day. But if you can start to
No.
build an understanding of local dealers and become
That would
their
help too.
service provider or
Yeah.
one of their service providers, that will be out. That's how you build business. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, look right here. It says he'll even split the load for somebody too. So that lets you know too that it's going
Nice.
right to him. It's very rare that if their
Oh, and it's at
phone
the
number is
Odessa.
from, yeah,
I like that.
Odessa, Charlotte.
All right.
See, that's the way I do
Nice.
my loads. I put on
Yeah.
there where it's going to and from, so they know ahead of time. Not that everybody pays attention, but I put them on there so I don't waste your time. You don't waste my time. Um, I don't even know how this company has high ratings because they never answer the phone. Anyways, moving on. A new, I think you had business for
1 year.
now it's 1 year. A new is 1 year now.
A 1 year? Wow.
Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the companies that we've dealt with have raised their, I don't know, their minimum to sign up. I'm not sure about AutoSled. I want to say it's 90 days. Carvana is definitely 90 days. It may be higher than that now.
You bet.
Man.
I mean, he is going to run into this. Unfortunately,
Carpool Logistics is a growing company.
they are. And I like
wonder-
that. They pay
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
They have their own load board. You can grab the
Yeah.
loads right off the load board yourself. And
Well-
they will usually call to verify information with you. They want you to use the app. If you use the app, you get paid within, I think, 24 hours or 48 hours. That's how fast you get paid.
So allegedly they came from Metrogistics.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, they're pretty big. They're getting
Yeah.
bigger every time.
Yeah, it's
We do a lot of running for them. And it mainly, a lot of it's because of their load board. You can go in and sweep out loads just like bing, bang,
Yeah, they're
boom.
really into tech.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they got a round of investment which has increased their ability to grow their tech.
Ah,
Yeah.
that would make sense. But the thing about being new, you're not going to know the difference between a new transport or
Bridgeway
Sky
or
Radiant.
Cars Arrive. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this is, well, and I know we've talked about this a lot. And if he watches some of our stuff, we've talked about the big brokers and what they require and stuff like that. Granted, it's not updated because a lot of it has changed over the last year. A lot of it has gone up higher as far as what they require for you to join and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah, I'm
sucks
gonna-
because as a newbie, it's really hard to get started in this business. It really is.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you don't know, go to ATI Auto Business on YouTube and you can see what shows are coming up. There is so much to learn
Yes.
or not learn, as
Yeah.
some would say.
And I think ACV is either 90 days or 6 months now too.
Oh yeah,
Oh, rest in
ACV is
peace.
another big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. As the bigger you get, the longer you probably have to wait.
You probably do. Because they're being more
Because-
careful.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You can't.
Because they're putting out so many loads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't risk a customer.
Yep.
And that's weird. Let's pause. You can't risk a customer letting other people in the community know that your service sucks.
Right.
But when it comes to what we're talking about,
Yeah.
nobody cares.
Cares. No.
How weird is that? That gets back into why I can't understand. And you're right. I'm getting worn out too.
Yeah.
Really, boardroom guys, don't worry. We've only got a couple years left in this. We're bored. Nobody cares. This is stupid. Just enjoy the show. Psh.
I mean, it looks like there's a lot of local stuff on here. you're always gonna find loads going to Savannah, just because there's a lot of port drops there. Not all of them require a twig card, but I will tell you, it is a nightmare to get out of Savannah. So I don't do it very
Savannah, oh,
often.
oh man, isn't that the
It's
truth? It
bad. It's
blows.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bad.
you're gonna be driving with 185 pounds of weed.
Yeah. There you go. Now, I love Auto Hauler Exchange. They have their own load board as well.
Yeah, of course. Auto
I
Hauler
don't think
Exchange.
is there like a 30-day or anything like that? Unless they changed it. When we talked to them on the show, do they have a minimum amount of time before
You
you got signed
know,
up?
that's a good question. I don't know. They've been growing a lot. They've been really visible, and they've just been really busy. So I haven't. I don't know some of their
Yeah.
new stuff. But go to Auto Hall Exchange. You know
Try
they
to
catch
sign
a
up.
lot of crap too.
Oh,
Everybody
I'm
says
sure.
they're brokers, and they're like, we're not brokers. We're yeah.
Turn time, I think you have to be in business for how long?
30.
30 days.
Oh, that's good. So 30 days is reasonable.
30 days is reasonable. I agree.
60 isn't bad either.
Even 90 isn't that
Exactly.
bad.
I can see 90.
Yes.
I can
But when
see
you go
90.
past that, I think it's ridiculous. Because when you, here's
Especially,
the thing. I know it's just like Ready not taking, how many years now are we up to for Ready not taking new
oh my
transport?
God,
Like
we're
five?
gonna drag out
Yeah.
that skeleton. Oh
Yeah,
my
4 or 5.
God,
So how
I
can you
forgot
ever
about
have,
Ready.
well, and how can you ever have enough transporters, right? It was just like Beacon telling me that they had too many transporters. They're not taking anybody on. I'm like, do they know how many people are going out of this business? I mean,
They don't. No,
they're
they
coming
don't.
in as fast as they're going out, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. Doge let go of their carrier vetting department, and they think everything's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no way. Yeah, you rip the cobwebs off those file folders, and you'll
Yeah.
find out half of them are gone.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. I remember when Reddy used to call me and verify who was still in business out of all of my transporters and stuff like that. And I go, nope, gone, nope, gone. You know what I mean? And you can't tell me
Yeah.
that that is not still happening.
Well, I think it's because now at the trade show, every broker wants to buy you dinner and take you to golf, and you don't need to go with Ready anymore.
Right.
You got five
Right.
mega brokers that want to, take you on a cruise. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need Ready.
Yeah.
That's silly.
So pre-owned, Janice, how long?
Just like 30 days.
Pre-owned, she thinks it's like 30 days.
Okay,
That's another
that's
good company to work
reasonable.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're moving up. They do not pay fast, but they are moving up in the industry. From what I can see, I see more and more listings from them on a regular basis.
Great. Great. Wow, that's cool.
Who else? Same thing. Auto sled, I've noticed over the last month, I've seen more and more. I haven't seen much of Run Buggy on here.
Huh. Well, Run Buggy's growing. My gosh.
It may just be
Honestly,
that I'm not running that lane
well,
too.
or
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
could be that. Or do they have their own
RPM
load
is
board yet?
90.
Right?
RPM is 90.
RPM.
They were
Does
90. They may have gone up too. I
does
don't know.
Run
I don't
Buggy
have
have
any
their own?
newbies to sign up to tell you the new stuff. All of my guys have been established for a certain length of time. So let's
Does
see.
Run Buggy
Anybody
have
else
their
I
own load
see?
board? Do you know?
Yes, they do.
Because I could
They
see
also
them.
post to here.
They post it. Well, everybody posts here,
Yep.
which is why, again, that nobody needs to listen to
No,
us
don't
yap.
anymore.
Who cares?
I noticed there's certain companies that only post on SD now. You cannot find them on CD at
Are
all.
you? Wow, good. Because we're going to talk about SD in a minute.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Is there anybody else that I just really stands
There's
out?
a lot of new names that I'd never heard of.
E-Car Logistics is a really good company to work for. I don't know what the rules are for signing up though. And they just, oh, it's for clarification, because I get this a lot. You see where it says 4 mixed vehicles? Now, they don't do this, but most of the time, if you click on the load, it will tell you what the cars are, okay? Most people don't understand that. They'll call me and say, because like if you list more than one vehicle, usually on Central now, it says mixed vehicles. But you have to go to the vehicle info and it lists the vehicles. Now, eCar never lists their cars on there at all. You have to call and they'll tell you what the vehicles are. But I have them call me and I'm like, if you click on the vehicle info, it tells you what the cars are. So in general, they will be there. E-car, I think, is a 30-day pay though, but they are factorable. I mean, they're a good company. They always pay. That's
Well, and it's interesting. 30 days. You know, it's
they've got
30
it. Look,
days.
they put on here quick pay options. So they
Oh,
have quick
good.
pay options. That's nice to know too, because you know what you're getting into. You can also ask them, how do you pay? And if you're with a factoring company, like for example, JD Factors, there's a way for you to vet that broker as to whether you can factor them or not ahead of time. Um, it's called instant credit, and I'm pretty sure most factoring companies offer that. I just work with JD Factors probably the most. And you go in there and you can type in the company name or you can put in their DOT or their MC number, whichever one it asks for, and it will tell you whether they're buyable or not, or whether to stay away from them, that kind of thing.
I just noticed that Mark says he cares.
Mark Rogie, is that
Hey,
who?
give a thumbs up if you care. Does anybody care? Got a thumbs up? We'll take all three of those likes.
I think that's a bigger company too. And you know,
So,
there's a way for you to tell if they're a bigger company or not. Look at their ratings. That'll tell you
yeah, I was
something.
thinking
And
that too.
not just their current ratings, like their older ratings from the past.
The
There's
number
a
in the
way
parentheses.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then sometimes that's not even legit. Have you, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've literally had a company and I knew they were brand new. Okay. And all of a sudden they have 1,000 ratings on there. You and I both know how the hell did that happen? And on the new system, okay? On the new system. I don't get that part. We'll just go on
Well,
from
maybe there's like a company that, do you need like Twitter followers,
there.
LinkedIn
Where
followers, or
you
central
buy the
dispatch
ratings,
ratings?
yes. Or you open up a Shopify account and you're selling your stuff and you have fake ratings of thousands of people bought your product,
That's
right? Yes,
awesome.
exactly. Let's see. Anybody else on here? We need to. I like that name. I think I've hauled for them. Yeah, see, look.
Easy peasy.
But look, do you see their new ratings? See, these are things you want to look at, especially being new. Why? What's going on with them? They had really good ratings, and all of a sudden they have four bad ones. And yes, 87.5% to me is bad.
Yeah, 87's not great.
No. And maybe that's what they're talking about retaliatory. I don't know. You know what I mean? It could go either way with that.
Yeah, I
That
think
kind of,
that's just
yeah.
fluff. So, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. That was really, really good segment. Sue, thanks for doing that.
Yeah,
I
no
know,
problem.
I know Theo was just eating up the information. Right? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's finish up. Let's talk about SD for a few.
Okay.
Do you have beef main issues with any of their features? I'm curious.
No, I really don't. They're
No?
easier to get a hold of. They help you when you're not getting paid from somebody. I've seen them pull people off of there that aren't paying people, um, which never happens on CD until it's way too late.
Wow.
Um, I mean, other than that, they're getting more and more customers every
And
day.
yeah, so you were talking about that. So you think there are people that post on SD now that don't post on CD?
I know there are
Wow.
for
Are
a
we talking
fact.
about brokers?
Yes.
I mean, we're not talking
Yes.
about like illegal dispatchers.
No,
Okay,
you
so
know,
so
brokers.
there are brokers that
Hmm.
now post on SD and not CD. Are we talking small brokers, mid-size, large? Do we know?
Um, I would put them into category of maybe
Mid,
small to mid, something like
small to mid.
that.
Okay. Why? Because it's more cost effective.
It may be cost effective. It may not even just be that. It may be the fact of the way they vet their transportation is
Could be.
different than
Okay.
the way CD does too. Um, I think, and here's the thing. I know that, on SD, you have to become a verified carrier to be able to get the loads on their load board, which isn't that hard because you're just sending in your docs, okay? But I know they monitor them. If the insurance goes bad, you're pulled. Or not bad. Say you didn't pay it, whatever, you know what I mean? You're pulled. You're not a verified carrier anymore, so you can't get a load. Um, I noticed that kind of stuff, and it does help, I think, ease your mind, but still let's be honest, even if I get a load from SD, I still have to usually always send in my new certificate of insurance for them that's dated that day. They still want that verification, and I totally get it. That
Well,
doesn't bother
yeah,
me at all.
that's normal. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what I've noticed is like when I go to ask, because every time anybody hauls for me, I ask for all of this information. I have to have it directly from the
Exactly.
agent, that kind of thing.
That's how you know
If
if it's
they balk
reasonable.
about that, there's a problem.
Exactly.
That's my first red flag.
Yeah.
Because I'll get well, I don't have time for that. I'm there right now. Well, then I'm sorry. That's the way we do
Okay.
things. That's the
Well,
way it
great.
is.
You
You
just
know.
got more time.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And no car. But yeah, so yeah. But I will say there's probably less problems with that than the other side of it. Now, on the same thing with CD, they do now have the FMCSA that comes up and it will flag them if something's wrong with their
So,
authority.
all right. So the monthly rate is better.
Oh yeah, it's a
The
lot
service
cheaper.
is better.
Yeah.
The communication's better.
I think their
And they have
downfall
plenty
is
of carriers,
yes,
right?
I think their downfall
What's the
is like
downfall?
because they don't have as many brokers listing cars, the competition is not, I mean, you just you're talking about 60,000 to maybe 15,000 loads,
But
okay?
if
That's your
you're a
difference.
broker, isn't that better because there's less competition? But I guess as the carrier, well, the problem is now that SD has to raise their fee.
Hmm. Is that going to
Maybe
knock
that
some of the transporters
it's going
out?
to knock off some of the
It
transporters that
might.
have to choose between CD and SD.
Right.
And that would make sense. Like, I mean, I think the question everybody wants to know is, will SD be pushed out of business or acquired?
I'm gonna guess say acquired, but
And either one of those is going to be a problem for carriers.
and now keep in mind the price to use SD is considerably less
I know, but
than
if you're
CD.
facing insurance
So,
and the wall and
right,
everything else, you're like, I can't pay for both.
right,
But I mean, which really shouldn't be the case. Because if you're running a car
right,
hauling business, right,
right,
between fuel
right,
and oil and spark plugs and every other little
right.
penny any cost, paying $55 a month for a load board shouldn't be a problem.
No,
But
but and I've come across a lot of transporters that only want to use SD and have quit CD and just went to SD.
well, and that's interesting too. Which so, all right, I'll share this. All right, I'm going to do you a favor, SD. All right. If I was SD, I would focus on this stuff. I wouldn't use the blatant language of the past. We're better than those guys without saying those guys.
Right.
But you should say that because we are dragging into the light a whole buffet of issues
Yeah.
you can show the differentiation. And rather than like there's these webinars and dog of the day or whatever,
Yeah.
my God, you guys, this is your opportunity
Yeah.
to blast why carriers should be coming to you. Save that $150 a month. That's the ad campaign. Save $139.95 a month and come over.
Yeah.
And we're not having a webinar. We're having a party. Have a hot dog. Do what the dealers do. Play in the jumpy.
The ball house.
Right, the ball house.
The jumpy.
The jumpy. And really, this is what's so bizarre. I mean, you got all these problems with power and profit. You've got all these folks with another gripe. You've got a contender that should be scooping up competition. And then there's this channel. There is nothing like this channel. And we're all so broken that we don't tape together the pieces and figure out how to get ahead in business. It is so crazy. This industry has issues, man. Major dysfunctional family issues. And here we are, just beating our faces against the wall. Why? This is show 206. Do you have a problem? What's your deal? Why do you talk like that? You know, it's funny. I go live. I'm live all the time. I literally, I can no longer tell the difference between live or just talking to someone on the phone. This is literally how I talk. No wonder nobody wants to talk to me. All right. Well, Janice,
Yep.
we'll see if we can get you a jumpy.
Yes, because my birthday is Sunday.
Ooh, even better. Well, you won't have a military parade, but hopefully you have a jumpy.
That's all that
I'm not getting her jumpy.
All right,
good.
that's great. That's great. Yeah.
If I do, I'm sending pictures. Okay.
It'll be like on Spinal Tap, where instead of 6 foot, it's 6 inches. So a
From
6-inch
Temu.
jumpy. That'll
From
be good.
Temu.
From Temu, a Temu jumpy.
Only $1.99.
That is awesome. Oh my God, Temu. That's the best. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Really do appreciate you. And Sue, thanks for all that hard work and those responses.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
can't wait to see what our next show is.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Guys, we said we were trying to help. We now no longer, we don't know what we're doing.
No.
I have no
Sorry.
idea what I really don't
Trying.
know. I don't know anymore. It is what it is. So on that note, what do we say, office?
Goodbye, Sue.
Goodbye, Sue. Thanks, everybody. Happy birthday. Have a good military parade.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be bouncy.
Yeah, it'll be bouncy. Little toy tanks with throwing little lady fingers. Ba-coo, ba-coo. All right. See ya.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.